Hailey Bieber is making a splash to wrap up summer, and in true Hailey fashion, she is doing it with poise, elegance, and a touch of effortless glamour that has become her signature. The model, entrepreneur, and fashion icon turned what could have been an ordinary photo shoot into a moment of pure aesthetic brilliance, reminding the world exactly why she continues to be one of the most sought-after faces in the industry. On this particular sunny day, Hailey was spotted at the legendary Chateau Marmont in West Hollywood, a place that has seen decades of Hollywood history unfold within its walls and beside its poolside cabanas. It was here, standing tall and radiant on the edge of a diving board, that she decided to serve the world a masterclass in modern modeling. Hailey looked breathtaking as she modeled a plunging one-piece swimsuit that perfectly accentuated her toned figure. The swimsuit, which featured a daring neckline and a sleek silhouette, seemed almost sculpted for her body. She wasn't just standing there posing. She was commanding attention, hitting every angle with the kind of instinctive ease that only comes from years of experience in front of the camera. Each pose, each turn of her head, and every delicate movement of her hands carried the weight of precision, an artist at work. Her legs, long and toned, were made even more statuesque by the matching pair of heels she chose to wear for the shoot. It was a bold choice. After all, walking on a diving board in heels is not for the faint of heart. But this is Hailey Bieber, and she made it look as though it were the most natural thing in the world. Her brunette hair, styled down and parted to the side, caught the sunlight in all the right ways, giving her that warm, late summer glow that photographers dream about. The slight breeze played with the ends of her hair, adding motion and softness to the shots, while Hailey stayed fully in control, adjusting effortlessly as the photographer snapped away. It's the type of poise that has made her a favorite of fashion houses and luxury brands around the globe. What makes these photos even more intriguing is that no one is quite sure what they're for. There hasn't been an official announcement about a campaign, a collaboration, or even a magazine cover. And yet, that uncertainty only fuels the excitement. Fans are speculating wildly online, guessing whether this could be tied to her own skincare brand Rhode, a partnership with a luxury fashion label, or perhaps an editorial spread for one of the major glossies like Vogue, Elle, or Harper's Bazaar. Whatever the final product turns out to be, one thing is certain: it's going to be stunning, and it will further cement Hailey's status as one of the leading tastemakers of her generation. Of course, none of this should come as a surprise. Hailey has been redefining the modeling game for years now. Earlier in July, she was photographed basking under the Mediterranean sun in Mallorca, Spain, wearing a tiny yellow and white bikini that showed off her golden tan. The images from that trip went viral almost instantly, with fans and fashion critics alike praising her effortless beauty and her ability to turn even a simple day of tanning into a moment worthy of the spotlight. And just a month before that, she had everyone talking when she was photographed rocking a sleek black two-piece bikini paired with a playful cowgirl hat. The photos were cheeky, confident, and had just the right amount of attitude, the kind of look that reminded everyone of Hailey's versatility as a model. One moment she can be high fashion, draped in couture on the red carpet, and the next she can channel a flirty, all-American vibe that feels straight out of a vintage Levi's ad campaign. The cowgirl-inspired shoot had fans flooding social media with comments and memes, many of them captioned with "Yeehaw," in honor of her Western chic energy. But the magic of Hailey Bieber goes beyond just her fashion choices. What keeps people drawn to her is the way she embodies an entire aesthetic. There's a certain understated confidence in the way she carries herself, a sense of quiet power that never feels forced. She's not just posing for a camera, she's telling a story. Whether it's the glint in her eye, the angle of her shoulders, or the subtle arch of her back, Hailey manages to create a narrative with every shot. And in doing so, she invites her audience to step into that narrative with her, if only for a brief moment. That narrative has been years in the making. Hailey, who grew up in the spotlight as part of the Baldwin family, could have easily been overshadowed by the fame surrounding her father, Stephen Baldwin, or her famous uncles Alec, William, and Daniel. But she carved her own path in the fashion world, starting with a series of modeling gigs that slowly but surely elevated her from a celebrity daughter to a bona fide star in her own right. Her work ethic has been described as laser-focused, and those who have worked with her often speak about her professionalism and dedication to the Craft. It's this work ethic that has made Hailey such a frequent collaborator for some of the biggest names in fashion. From walking the runways of Tommy Hilfiger, Dolce & Gabbana, and Versace, to starring in campaigns for Guess, Ralph Lauren, and Saint Laurent, she has shown time and time again that she can deliver whatever a brand needs. The photos from Chateau Marmont are simply the latest chapter in this ongoing story. A story of a woman who has learned how to balance fame, fashion, and personal authenticity in an industry that can often feel demanding and unforgiving. And speaking of balance, Hailey's personal life often attracts just as much attention as her professional work. Married to global pop star Justin Bieber since 2018, Hailey has become one half of one of the most talked about couples in the world. Their relationship has been scrutinized from every angle, dissected by tabloids and debated by fans, but through it all, Hailey has carried herself with grace. In interviews, she has been candid about the challenges of navigating marriage in the public eye, admitting that it hasn't always been easy, but that it has made them both stronger. It's perhaps this combination of vulnerability and strength that resonates so deeply with her fan base. Hailey is relatable yet aspirational. She's someone who can post a no-makeup selfie on Instagram one day and a couture editorial the next, and both will feel equally authentic. Her willingness to let her audience see glimpses of her unpolished human side is part of what has allowed her to remain relevant in a world where trends shift daily. Back at the Chateau Marmont shoot, as the photographer continued to capture frame after frame, Hailey seemed to be in her element. The iconic hotel pool sparkled behind her, the sunlight hitting the water just right to create an almost cinematic atmosphere. The small team gathered around her watched silently, almost in awe, as she worked. This was more than just a photo shoot. It was a performance, and Hailey was the star. Some of the bystanders at the hotel, who happened to catch a glimpse of the shoot, later shared that there was a certain magic in the air that afternoon. Perhaps it was the mix of history and glamour that the Chateau Marmont exudes. Or perhaps it was simply the presence of Hailey herself, whose energy seemed to light up the space. Whatever it was, those who were there knew they had witnessed something special. As summer draws to a close, this shoot feels like a fitting farewell to the season, a final celebration of sun, style, and confidence before autumn brings with it a new set of trends and moods. Hailey Bieber has once again managed to capture that fleeting moment of transition, freezing it in time for the rest of us to admire. And so, as we wait for these photos to officially drop, one thing is clear. Hailey Bieber continues to set the bar, not just for modeling, but for what it means to be a modern icon. She reminds us that fashion is not just about clothing, but about expression, attitude, and the ability to make even a simple afternoon on a diving board feel like a cultural event. In a world where everyone is fighting for attention, Hailey doesn't just ask for it. She earns it, one flawless shot at a time.